into a very important place, you'll realize right away that these places have sanctity, importance to them. If you're in the courthouse, your phone has to be off. You can't be whispering and talking. When the judge walks inside, they'll say, everyone rise. There's a certain respect that is expected of the sanctity of the place. Or if you're on a plane, they will say, right now we're going to be demonstrating the safety features of this flight. Please turn off your phones, please turn off your laptops, and pay attention. That's just human nature, that when there's an important address, when something important is happening, we need to be completely focused on the message. The house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the life of a believer is the most important place. There's nowhere more important, no more valuable than the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's important that just like if I'm standing in front of a judge, I'm not going to be on my phone and tell the judge, hey, just give me 2 minutes, I need to answer this call. Or if they're doing some safety announcement, I'm going to say, you know what, I need to connect my phone or my laptop, I have a very important meeting. No. Sometimes we need to prioritize what is much more important than my own personal needs. When we come to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't spend that much time giving our rights to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we look at a 24-hour cycle, most of my day is spent in my work, with my family, in the bathroom, on my phone, driving. If we look at the number of time, the amount of time I spend in the masjid, let's say for instance there are 5 salahs in the day. Each salah takes me 15-20 minutes. But I'm not coming for all 5 salahs, maybe I'm coming for 2 salahs. If I'm lucky, maybe I'm coming for 1 salah. So in 24 hours, I am not even giving 1 hour to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fortunate among us are those people who come to the masjid and spend 1 hour. We're lucky if on a day we're spending even half an hour in the masjid, even if we're spending 15 minutes in the masjid. So in 24 hours, not even a fraction of that I'm giving to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but even that time is spent distracted. I'm coming in, I'm on my phone, I'm talking, I'm not focused. After salah is done, I'm gone. You know, like just look at Jumu'ah for instance. Jumu'ah, mashallah, the salah, masjid is brimming. Give it 5 minutes, the masjid is empty as though we were never here. So one thing that I do want to emphasize inshallah over the next few days is while we come to the masjid and Allah invites us as guests, there are certain huquq and certain rights that the masjid has on us. For instance, our phones are going to be off. If I'm coming with my children, I'm going to make sure that my children are taken care of. When I come, I make sure that I'm not giving off a foul smell. When I come, I'm greeting everybody, I'm smiling, I'm making the space very welcoming. There are some etiquettes that we need to remind ourselves. And somebody may say, wait, you know, you spoke about this last year. We need to be talking about the etiquettes of the masjid every single day. We need to be talking about the rights that the masjid has. So the first thing we want to start off with is mentally, psychologically, that I should look at the house of Allah and think, how much of the day do I spend in the masjid? If there are 24 hours in the day, I am fortunate if I'm even spending half an hour in the masjid. So let me value that time. Let me think about how important that time is. Let's say for instance, there's an expert and you know he's coming and visiting the town and you're asking him for his time. You know, nowadays if you go to a therapist, if you go to a doctor who's charging by the hour, they will say, listen, if you want a counseling session, you want a therapy session, $400 an hour. Do you think if you had that $400 you're spending for the hour, you're going to come in at your own time, half an hour is gone? He doesn't care, your time is going, you're paying for the time. When I'm coming to the masjid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the house of Allah, let me think that this is an hour that I have, or half an hour, or 15 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. But I want to utilize the most that I can from this and not let it slip from my fingers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to benefit from the masjid, appreciate the sanctity and the hurma of the masjid, and may every minute that I spend here be counted in my mizan of hasanat. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear respected brother. Inshallah, after the remaining salat, there will be very important talk about the iman and effort of the iman. Brother request to participate, we all get the benefit.